This video essay will elaborate on how wolves have been symbolized in Japanese anime through semiotics, film theory, and diverse editing elements, especially motion blur. So what is semiotics theory and motion blur? Semiotics in films is defined as interpretations of various signs to study the hidden messages of the producers. Signs is divided into signifier and signified. Motion blur becomes an essential part in increasing the credibility of these imagined words. Motion blur is well known for preventing stripping effects and creating natural animated motions that reflect reality. Wolves have long appeared in Japanese folklore as Shinto gods, occupying a world where scary nature had not yet been tamed by mankind. According to the lost wolves of Japan, grain farmers used to worship wolves as shrines and leave food offerings near their dens, beckoning the wolves to safeguard the crops from wild boars and deer's sharp hooves. However, by the 19th century, the Japanese wolves had become known as a rabbit man killer and had been driven to extinction by the beginning of the 12th century. The movie Princess Mononoke in 1997 is perhaps the best modern portrayal of this viewpoint. In the movie, the wolf named Moro is described as a god animal with advanced power raising his human companion Sense, also known as Princess Mononoke. Through the wolf's image in this movie, Hayao Miyazaki tells a story on how humans, forest animals, and nature gods all fight for their parts in the new evolving order. The motion blur is generally used in the scene where Sense is heading to meet Moro at the mountain to convey the hurry and anxious pace of this pre-war scene. The battle is bound to be bloodshed, so the epic aims to foreshadow the power of each side. Moreover, Hayao Miyazaki has emerged the motion blur technique whenever Sense or Ashitaka is running with the wolf to highlight the speed of such a spiritual animal and signify the supernatural aspect of the forest creatures. By depicting a tension between animal gods and humans in the movie, the director wanted to explore the dark side of the human these days when exploiting gods for money and destroying the forest through the villager's image, especially Lady Eboshi. In the following scene, the motion blur on the arrow and knife during the battle highlights how dangerous and threatening the weapons of humans really are. It also signifies the mercilessness of humans toward animal gods. In addition, the visual effect of explosive weapons made by humans has been used in numerous scenes to emphasize the brutal and ruthless traits of the human side. As mentioned above, the 12th century marked a slow extinction of wolves, except the werewolves, who survived the hunt by hitting outside. To have a clear understanding of werewolf life in the modern times, we're gonna look at the movie Wolf's Children in 2012 by Mamoru Hosoda. The werewolves are living under the human identities, having to suppress their wolf form in order to live a normal life. The wolf's image in this scene signifies people in modern life who constantly try to conceal their genuine personalities and emotions under a suitable cover to please the people around them. The motion blur during the scene with Ame and Yuki highlights the fun and innocent enjoyment of the two because they can be in their true form. Similarly, the motion blur effect is incorporated in the scene with Hana in the center of the screen to imply that Hana is a pillar of the family. Speaking of Hannah, the human mother who has to raise two wolf children after her husband dies, represents single parents and their difficulties while raising the kids alone. In the scene Ame fell into the river, the motion blur intensifies the urgent call for help as the surrounding gets blurry and blurry over time. The near-death experience signifies the importance of the mother to her child during desperate times, also dwelling on the parents' responsibility towards the child and single parents' hardship when it comes to raising children all by themselves. Both movies depict a picture where a wolf, a wild predator, live peacefully with humans, resulting in a balance of life between humans and animals, which I believe is the main goal of this anime. Still today, the wolf is considered evil, even in the academic community, so it seems wolf representations are frequently interpreted in a negative way. In Japanese movie, wolves are not just showcased from a subjective view within its animality, evil and wildness, but also distinctively anthropomorphized through the creative imaginations of self, nation and life.
怖がられても嫌われてもそうやって生きてきた。
Additionally, human and animal instincts are intensified via editing techniques such as motion blur and visual effects, profoundly epitomizing that humans can live in harmony with wildlife objects.